Rocky, what did you think of Adam Jennings' first game?
I thought he did a good job. I thought he showed some poise with the puck. We played him quite a bit in a lot of different situations, and I thought he made a good account for himself, without a doubt. It's not easy coming in with your first game ever, but I thought he did some very good things and very encouraging. Blocked a big shot for us, too. I thought he did good. I was happy with how he played.
Rocky, you've obviously been involved from the start with Owen Tippett, trying to develop him. How exciting, satisfying is it to see him having turned into the player he already is, and then the player he might become in the future?
Well, and you can see, with the breakaways, for example, how many opportunities he's had over the course of the year. And, sometimes it's a good save. Sometimes he'd probably like to have a few back, but he's starting to turn a corner in that aspect as far as becoming a goal scorer. And I saw him in junior. I coached in the OHL at that time, and he was a natural goal scorer. But I think his game's evolving, not just as a shooter, which we're seeing, and that's kind of maturing, but I think he makes good plays too. I think he can be very hard to play against because of his speed, not just when he has the puck. He can forecheck and take advantage of those attributes that he has, but definitely the offense has come. He's been put in a good situation this year to succeed, and I think he's taken advantage of those opportunities, and the future is very bright, in my opinion, moving forward.
What has it been like getting to know James, and what was it like to see him score his 300th tonight?
Well, he's an awesome pro, and 300 goals is a very impressive feat, and the way he scored it, kind of a knuckle puck. He scored so many goals in so many different ways, and he's always kind of around the net, so it's kind of ironic that he ends up scoring a perimeter goal like that. But he's a pleasure to work with. He's a consummate professional, without a doubt, and he's done a lot of good things in this league. And we were all happy for him, as you could see if you looked on the bench, and his teammates, how much he's loved there. It was nice.
You guys have a lot of young forwards. Do you feel like they've looked up to the way he approaches things?
Absolutely. And I remember particularly in Arizona, he was playing, I think, with Morgan Frost and Tip. And it was when he first came back from his injury, and they ended up having like a great night that night. But there was other little things that people couldn't see behind the scenes, and the communication on the bench and the encouragement with the guys, and just those types of things that when you're a younger player, it kind of gives you a little bit of a confidence, and it's so helpful. And that's a memory of mine that I remember, and it sticks out at that time. And then right around that time, you start to see Frosty and Tip starting to elevate their game. There's a sense of confidence that I think Reamer was a big part of helping them.
Rocky, what's your perspective on using 2D and 1 forward in overtime?
No, I think it's good because of the situation for us. I don't think we're overly offensive. I don't think we have a ton of speed, with the exception of some individuals. And I think a lot of the times in the games that we go up against, I think that it puts us at a disadvantage defensively to be in those, because it's a series of one-on-ones, and speed can kind of kill you, especially in overtime. So we view that, I think, is a way to minimize that. And a lot of our D are quite offensive, and they actually have good legs, and they can jump up. So it's not minimizing things. And since we've made that switch, it's made a big difference in our overtime games. Not that we've won a ton of games, but when you start to look back and take inventory, we've got more shots, we've given up less. And tonight we used Catesy on the back end, but we basically said we want you playing, like a D in that scenario, being the kind of the way our D are. And he's so responsible. He skates well backwards. That was good. Our D were getting tired in the situation. We got hemmed in a couple of times there, so it ended up working out for us tonight. And then we allowed TK and Tip and Frosty with their leg speed to take advantage of the offense. So.
Rocky, you last got to serve as head coach against the St. Louis Blues. What did you learn from that experience that was able to help inform your decision-making tonight?
I've been a head coach for a long time, but before this, so you kind of draw on your previous experiences, and we got great staff, right? And Torts is a great mentor, putting us in those situations. So it was kind of like you just kind of get back into the flow. In the beginning, and I had a short bench as far as 11 forwards in that first game, so you kind of get your timing down, and then the other lines and the matching and that type of things, but it came back really, really quickly. So tonight was even more comfortable doing that, and I had 4 full lines, so that makes it a little bit easier to navigate, without a doubt. But it was quite seamless, that transition back into it.
Rocky, what do you hope that Rasmus Ristolainen can bring to the power play?
Well, I think that you've seen his game evolve this year again, and he's run a top power play, a very good power play in Buffalo before Dahlin came in there. And originally we put him in net front, and I did a lot of pre-scouting just to see if it's something we should do. He did a good job in front of the net. His game started to improve as a result. I think he played a really good job defensively over the course of this season as his game has gotten better, and we started to see the offense come as well. I like the fact that he was a right shot. I think he's got the heaviest shot on our team, and I think teams have to respect that. I think we play a lot of passive penalty kills. So encouraging him sometimes to pound it into the blocks is not a bad thing. And, you know, enough guys get bruises and stuff on their ankles and the defenses start to fall down, other things start to open up. So I think he's done a good job. I think there was things that he needed to improve on the power play as far as on our breakouts, and we challenged him, and he's stepped up and done a good job there too. So again, it's a process, but he's only one person. And you know what? In the last 4 games, I kind of like the way our power play has been. Just like trying to make plays, and you know, not, you know, sometimes we make mistakes, but we've actually started to generate some more chances here. So it's been a work in progress, and we've used different players to see if other guys could step up and be a half wall guy. And you know, again, a lot of those guys are young, and we decided to let's make a shift to the younger players and see and work with them. And they'll make mistakes; it won't be good. But, you know, as you get that practice and that confidence, a guy like Tip, for example, you start to see these things come to fruition. I think TK is an excellent #1 power play guy in the bumper. We haven't been able to get him the puck there all year. It's something we try to do. It's something we want to do. We haven't had that ability to do that. And like I said, it's encouraging those flanks. Don't be afraid. Like, make a play, get it in there. And you're starting to see us seam the puck more. We're making more seam passes. It hasn't turned out into anything yet, but that's the first step sometimes is, you know, breaking those defenses down and then bringing it to the net.
Before the game, John Tortorella kind of talked about your relationship together. Now he was blown away by your interview when he wanted you in Philly. What has that relationship been like between him and you, and just the way he's been able to give you guys those opportunities behind the bench?
I can't say enough good things about him. Even just this opportunity, for example, getting a chance to be a head coach of a National Hockey League team, something you dream about when you start coaching. As a player, you dream about playing, you know, and I was fortunate enough to play for a little bit. And then as a coach, it's something you aspire to try and do as a long-term goal. And him giving us that experience is incredible. I can't say enough good things. Like I said, he's a great mentor. He's a great person. And yeah, I could go on. And he means a lot to me.
Rocky, you mentioned young forwards earlier. Another forward who's kind of grown this year is Joel Farabee. Scored a big goal today to get you back in the game. Set a career high in points in the process. Can you talk about the growth that he's shown this season and what you've seen from him?
Absolutely. I think in the past when Joel was in here, he was playing with more older and experienced players, so he could kind of piggyback those guys. And then this year it became, well, now you got to be a catalyst more. And this is in my opinion, that you have to be the guy to step up. And there was a process for him, and he kind of went down a little bit. And what I like about him is he's a fighter. You know, he fights, he's competitive, he comes back out of those situations when he gets beat down. And now you can see his game starting to become a catalyst. Like, he's the guy generating the offense. And that's encouraging for us because it's important. And it's got to be important for him. We want him to play well without the puck, and that was an issue early on. And I always believe, and Torts would say the same thing, if you play well without the puck, the rest of the game starts to come. You end up playing with the puck more, and then those things and that confidence starts to grow. And I think he's confident right now, and I think he's taken the necessary steps in the right direction to move upon that foundation going forward.